Good day, everyone. I'm here in front of you to impart my speech about sex education. Option: I don't know about you, but I love having the ability of choosing, having a choice of what profession I want to work into something, or as simple as wearing what I want to wear. I need options. Without choices, our freedom are limited. In the United States, people are given liberties that were often taken for granted. Within the first amendment of the Bill of Rights alone, we have freedom to religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. Although we live in 21st century, there are still several countries who do not protect even half of the rights that I have previously stated. Over centuries, over the centuries, the Catholic Church has been fighting the Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act, otherwise known as the RH Bill. This requires not only sex education, we thought that public health workers receive training in family planning and that the post-abortion care is legalized. Contraception, family planning, and sex education in general are not widely discussed in schools or are in the public. In the Philippines, it is not as if using contraceptive is banned. It is merely unaffordable to many. Within 30% of the population are in the fact living below the poverty line and 100 million people living in cents a day. Pesos go to buying the necessities such as food and clothing, not condoms. The church has centered this bill around religion when in reality it is about human rights, health, and sustainable human development. The country uh, has one of the fastest growing people in the world. National statistics state that Philippines is growing at 1.89, which is not faster but could reach 150 million by the year 2016. This, this to prove that even without considering the problem of overpopulation, the fact that sex education is not available in schools greatly affects the lives of the young people. Choices are limited for people because of economic, political, and social factors. However, if the former President Rodrigo Duterte and the Philippine government want to implement changes that can create more opportunities for a healthier and more economical lifestyle, then the church should not stand in its way. There are several things that need to change about the Philippines. But I believe all starts with education. They say that knowledge is power. The Catholic Church can think negatively and say the handing out for free condoms and education students on sex will lead to more sex and relax more moral support. However, I believe that a more optimistic mindset needed to be implemented. More individuals need to have faith that young people will make good choices, ones that will lead brighter future. The Philippine government is why not the rest? It's all for the best thought. There are pros and cons of sex education. Teenagers are already under a great uncontrollable pressure due to the new hormones flowing through their bodies. Although many believe intercourse should be avoided until finding a significant other bond for life by marriage, it is still important for adolescents to be informed about new experience. Sex education is a very important part of maturing from a teenager to an adult, but it is always beneficial to you. There are many pros and cons of learning about this at such of young age. Sex education is a pivotal moment in teens' growing years. It is a chance for students to learn proper safety techniques in order to prevent not only teen pregnancy, but also sexual transmitted disease or HIV. Studies show males attending schools who had received sex education were also more likely to use birth control the first time they had sexual intercourse. However, they also explain no ascension were found among females between recent of sex education and birth control use. These patterns varied among social demographic subgroups. One reason that some prefer to use birth control and others stray away is due to the fact that although this one protection method does protect women from unplanned pregnancy, it can protect anyone from getting a sexual transmitting disease or a virus. Birth control, however, is not the only protection method. There are many other ways to stay safe from both unwanted situations. A very well-known way to protect oneself during intercourse is to use of a condom which provides a layer between body-to-body contact. This is not completely reliable through, so a smart decision made between intimate couples is the use of both condoms and birth control. However, I thought in most health classes, abstinence is the best option. People are extremely vulnerable to sexually transmitted disease. Studies have shown that in 2015, a total of 229,715 babies were born to women aged 15-19 years for a birth rate of 22.3 per 1,000 women in this age group. This just goes to show that can happen without having sex education in school. Although there are many benefits of having sex education in your school years, it can also have its downsides. Sex education is not taught properly can lead students to believe that intercourse before marriage is encouraged just because they are learning about it. Some people think that sex education gives students the knowledge of safe intercourse with partners, making them possibility believe that they should participate in this act as well. This is not the case whatsoever. Sex education is meant to teach the danger of sex, but students might look at what they are taught in between perspective. AIDS led to two modifications: teaching students to practice safe through the use of barrier contraception and grafting of acceptance message onto the old comprehensive model. This could send students mixed signals about what sex education is trying to portray about the lessons. People tend to say that sexual intercourse of adolescents are inevitable. However, sex education nowadays is not only teaching the dangers of intercourse, but they are also teaching safe ways to avoid those dangers. Although this seems like it would be positive, it allows students to believe they can practice safe sex before marriage. Although there are many cons of sex education in schools, for primary intercourse among teens is almost inevitable. Therefore, receiving sex education in the adolescent years is very beneficial but not always effective. Sex education should not be removed from school curriculum, but there should be another approach as to know it is all. That's